Peace, Flop. Before I get into the number of the day, which is the message of the day, I want you guys to think back to what we've been talking about over the last few messages, specifically over the last week or so. What we've been talking about, what's been happening in the spirit, in the unseen realm, what Abba's doing, the movements that he's making among the people, the changes that are going to be taking place on the earth. I want you to think about what we've been talking about. How this is all preparation for an hour. In other words, a time of trial, a time of testing to see if you've done the work necessary to overcome during this hour of temptation. The work that was necessary to be done, if you've been following here at the School of Marvelous Light, is internal work. An internal traveling from place to place, just like the Israelites did in the Bible. It's no different today. But this time it's done by his spirit, he said, not by power, not by might, but by my spirit. That means hidden. That means internal. Like Yahusha said, my words are spirit. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It does not come with outward observation. See how this is all connecting like Legos? So I want you to consider everything that we've been talking about and how it correlates to what we're going to be talking about today. And as you guys know, these numbers that I get are not my own, nor do I come up with them on my own. I don't know what the number is going to be until the end of the last message that he gives. Isn't that interesting? Just like today, every pause that I'm taking when I'm talking contributes to the number that's going to affect the next message that we give. Every moment of this message is ordained perfectly. Every stutter that I make, every mishap when I speak, every time I have to repeat myself, if I go off on a tangent, maybe even sing a song, all of that was perfectly ordained. And how we prove that is that this number that he gives us always leads us further into what he's been talking to us about. Now, as you know, this is preparation for you to know how to be during the hour of temptation, right? And that preparation is for you to know how to speak during that time, because that's what he said, what will keep you. Now, in the last message, I asked you guys, don't you all want to be kept from that hour? So you see, that's what we're talking about. Don't you want to be kept from it? Well, this is how you'll be kept. That's called salvation. The this is how is salvation, isn't it? In order to be saved, this is what you must do during this time, because this is the type of temptation you're going to go through. It's going to be to tempt you to speak in a wrong way. That's the temptation. You see, because the enemy knows that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So what will he try to convince you to do? Look, little flock, what I'm saying to you. Trying to get you to speak wrong is what he's attempting to do during that hour of temptation. If that's not what it is, then when the hour of temptation happened to Yahusha, what was the thing that he did during it? You know what it was. I kept on telling you, I'm going to tell you again here. He opened not his mouth. That's the thing that sticks out. So then it's about how he used his tongue during that temptation. You see it? It's not about anything else that you do. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. If you've been coming here, I've been preparing you on how to use your tongue. Correct? Don't use it wrong anymore. Ultimately, that's what my messages are all about. And that's why people accuse me of using my tongue in the wrong way, proving they're judging wrong judgment. I'm sent from the Father to tell you what I have to tell you. So then what I'm telling you is from the Father. If you don't understand that, you don't have ears to hear spiritual things. My words are not carnal, they are spiritual. If you hear them and compute them carnally, then you will automatically think that they are filthy. Automatically you will. Because God doesn't want you judging that way anymore. So to prove you're judging wrong, he sends you somebody who speaks in a way that causes you to think that they're speaking wrong. See? To prove your error in judgment. Because then if they're speaking wrong, you then have to prove that they're not from God. That's what you have to prove, that they're not sent from God. Now, can you do that? Can you do it? Because that's the question. Because that's what they were trying to do with Yahusha. Is Yahusha really the Son of God? Is he really the Christ? That's the question that they're having. And then when he opened his mouth, like I reminded you guys, that's when they said he has spoken blasphemy. He has spoken blasphemy. He did not speak blasphemy. He had no guile in his mouth, but yet that's the judgment that they passed down. The judgment that who passed down? The religious leaders. The over-righteous, outward appearing, judging people. You see? The hypocrites. So now, the number is 3151, 3151. That's the number Abba gave us. Like I said, he's the one who's giving it to us because he knows that we're going to do this work that we do. He knows what's going to come once he gives me the number. You see? Now, who told me to do this with the number? Who do you think? All right. So 3151. Now, let's see if what I have told you all is true. That during this hour, those who cannot keep the word of the patience, they will be broken off. Is that not what I told you guys? There will be a shaking, and they will be shaken until they break off the tree. And what will cause them to break that shaking? You see, that hour of temptation is that shaking, that movement, that moving you to speak, shaking you, which means threatening you, enticing you to say something. Don't you see it? You cannot overcome if you do. In other words, you're proving that they're your master. You're proving that you still are in the old world. So then you have not overcome. You're still seeking to defend yourself, then you have not overcome. You're still seeking to justify yourself, then you have not overcome. You see? All right, so 3151. The Hebrew is Yaziz. Yaziz means, watch this little flock, to move, to shake, to stir. So to move, to shake, to stir. You see that little flock? A mover and a shaker. What's a mover and a shaker in this world? You can look the term up, maybe on Google to tell you. What is a mover and a shaker? And when you find out what it is, then this is going to be real interesting when we talk about what we talk about today. To move and to shake is the word yaziz. Okay? Now, that word yaziz is the same as the word ziz. Okay? Ziz. Ziz means an abundance. It also means moving creature or wild beast. It also means to be conspicuous. To be conspicuous. It means fullness of the breast. You see that, little flock? So, a moving creature, fullness of the breast, abundance, wild beast, to be conspicuous. Now, look at that right there. A mover and a shaker. To be conspicuous. To be focused on abundance. Getting more, getting more, getting more causes you to move and to shake. Don't you see it? That's what a mover and shaker is. That's what they're known for doing, is going out and getting, right? That's a wild beast, like Esau is. Esau is a man of the field, see? Going out to go move, see? Going out, moving, to go shake, to get. See? To go shake, to get, to go shake a nigga down. Shit. So I can go get something. That's a beast. You see how it's all connecting like Legos? All right? Now this moving creature, all right? A moving creature. You hear that? A wild beast. Just as is written about Esau. That's why I'm pointing it out. All right. Ziz. All right. An abundance moving creature. Now, if you have a flock, could that be considered an abundance of moving creatures? Yes, it is. They're also beasts. They're also wild beasts, but they're a large group of them. You see? And why am I bringing that up? Because this word Yaziz is only one time mentioned in the Bible, little flock. Ain't that something? It's only mentioned one time. Now, the word Yaziz comes from the word Yazaz, which means to move or to be swift. Okay? Yaziz is mentioned in the context of King David's administration. So this name or this word Yaziz is only mentioned of a person that was in King David's administration. So in his cabinet, if you will. You see? Now, what was he and what did he do? He is identified as a Hagarite who was appointed as the overseer of the flocks, S on the end of that, not just flock, flocks, S. So flocks, an abundant, numerous, moving creatures. See what I mean? Yaziz is the overseer of that. Now, when Yahushua's talking about being an overseer of his flock, what does he say he's going to do? He's going to separate the sheep from the goats. So there's some goats that have tried to blend in with the flock. Now, Brother Cut must have known that we were going to do this little work here. And he went back and found some old videos of mine talking about this exact event. So that the messages he posted on his page that I had made back previous before is no different than what I'm saying here today, proving that that message obviously was true, that warning that I was given. That if you've tried to come in among the flock and blend in, but yet you're a goat, you're going to be shaken out. Now, what's going to shake you out? The fact that you can't shut the fuck up. I'm just keeping it real. A sheep before the shearers is silent, my nigga. It didn't say nothing about no goat. Plus, a goat don't got no wool, do he? So he ain't got no reason to be sheared, do he? Nah. You skin a goat. That's what you do with him. But he can't be quiet. You see that? Ah! 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 That's all the goat know how to do is open that mouth and stick his tongue out and make a whole bunch of damn noise. So his children do the same thing. Don't you see them out there sticking their tongues out? Yeah, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. He sure is. Look at him sticking his tongue all out and everything. Mm-hmm. They stick their tongue out and they make a whole lot of noise. Yeah, girl. Yeah, yeah, hot girl, summer girl. Ah. Yeah, that's what goats do. You're children of a goat. You're a kid. So you're going to be shaken out. You're the type of people that have no choice but to get extremely afraid when the shaking occurs. See? And when you get afraid, you're going to scream all out. You're not just going to get humble and be quiet like a sheep do. Because that's what sheep do. That's what's going to separate them. See that there little flock? That's going to be the separating. Now, like I said, Yaziz only mentioned one time, and it's mentioned about a man named Yaziz, and he's the overseer of the flocks of David. You see that? He's the overseer. So he's the one that makes sure that all the flocks are in order. You see that? This position indicates a role of significant responsibility and trust, as flocks were a vital part of the economy and wealth in ancient Israel. Flocks were what? Vital part of the economy. Vital part of the economy. Vital means necessary. And wealth in Israel. Abundance. You see that word abundance was thrown in there as well, Aziz? See how Yaziz is the overseer of that? Ain't that interesting how Abba do that kind of work? You see that there? All right. So the specific reference to Yaziz can be found in the book of 1 Chronicles 27:31, who's interested in knowing where this is mentioned at in the Bible. And the verse says, Yaziz, the Hagarite, was in charge of the flocks, All these were the officials in charge of King David's property. Property means wealth. So Yaziz was the overseer of that particular part of David's abundance. What particular part? His flocks, his abundant wild beasts. All right then, little flock. So now, why is Abba showing us this? Why is Abba showing us this? Yaziz used one time in the Bible. Well, let's see what the other word is. The Greek 3151. Now, like I said, Brother Cut on his page, he posted the videos, and I'm saying all of y'all who come talking that dumb shit, see how I'm saying it? Now watch when I reveal to you what this word means in connection to the other word we just read. And then connect it to what I said when I said all of y'all come into the house of Abba talking a bunch of dumb shit, wasting your time just speaking a bunch of words that don't have any value. You're going to be shaken off. You're going to be broken off and kicked out of the flock. That's what I'm saying on those videos that he reposted that I had made months ago, maybe even years ago. Who knows? The name of the video is Shake Till They Break. Now, guys, are you serious? The name of the video I posted is Shake Till They Break that my brother Cut reposted. Shake Till They Break. Now, you guys think that's just some type of coincidence, or you think I was the one working this? Well, let's see who's going to be shooken off and broke, because this next word is going to tell us who. Let's see. So the Greek 3151 would be the word mataiologos. Mataiologos. Okay, you know how I be saying by singing my song? Legos, logos, legos, logos, legos, logos. That little chant that I'm saying, it means I connect the word together. That's basically what I'm saying. I connect the word together. I connect the word together. I connect the word together. You see, like I'm doing today. I'm connecting the words together for you that Abba's telling us what he's saying. I'm connecting it for you to make it plain for you to understand. See? So legos, logos. You notice logos is part of this word. Mata yo logos. Mata yo logos. So it has to do with talking, right? Okay, well, let's see. Mataiologos means vain talker. Look at this here. Conslicer, foot sweep, throw you up in the air, throw the sub-zero ice on you, freeze you, slide towards you with the uppercut from hell, breaking all of that ice with you inside of it included until there's nothing left but a bunch of ice chips. Okay. Vain talker. It means idle talker. A vain, empty talker. The word comes from two words, mataios and lego. Look at their little flock, like I said. Now, mataios, let's look what that word means. We know what lego means. It means to talk. Legos, logos, legos, logos. See? Talk the word, talk the word. Now let's see what mataios means so we can get a deeper understanding of this word. Mataios means vain, futile, worthless, empty, unreal, ineffectual, unproductive, godless. Does that make that clear or not clear? Without basis, fleeting, aimless, purposeless. Do y'all see these words? So somebody who speaks purposeless words, ineffectual words, words that have no effect, words wherein there is no profit, words wherein there is no power. Isn't that what the grandson is saying? That this is about how you talk? So what words do you think you can be saying today that are vain? I'm sick. That's ineffectual words. See? I'm sick. I'm stupid. I'm dumb. I'm useless. I'm valueless. I'm nothing. I'm less than nothing. I'm pointless. I'm weak. I'm dumb. I'm trash. You see it? All the thoughts that everybody has secretly thought. If you didn't secretly think that, God wouldn't have said you have all sinned, because that's the sin you've done. You've taken his name in vain. See? Now, what's his name? I am. Now I just proved to you how you're taking it in vain and ineffectual, purposeless, useless words. So when you come here to the School of Marvelous Light and you're talking like that, do you think I just allow you to? You see what it means about being Yaziz? Why do you think I call you guys the flock? Why do you think I say this? Why do you think I call you guys the flockulators? Well, it should be obvious why now. So the shaking that takes place is when you're shown how you've been taking that name in vain. Once you see how you've been taking it, you will either be exposed for being a goat or you will be exposed for being a sheep, which means you will humble yourself and get quiet like Job did. I will cover my mouth and I will not speak anymore. I will let you tell me how to speak. I'll let you tell me what you've made, and then I'll talk in accordance with what you've made, no longer with what I think you've made. You see that there? All the people that are vain talking, that will use their throat to use words that are ineffectual, purposeless, vain, and empty, and no value, they will all be cut out of the flock. So do you see? Can you deny this? What the Father's saying here. If I have told you guys for, about a month now at least, maybe even more, that we're in the heart, next stop is the throat. Now, Abba wants to make sure your heart is right before you speak. The only way you can speak his words of truth is to be in a calm state of being. What is that lamb when he's being sheared? He's quiet. He's calm. He's quiet. He ain't doing a damn thing. See? Do you see it? Can't you understand it? All right. So that sheep being sheared represents him losing his identity that he thought he was. So in the process of when that takes place with you, you must be quiet and be stripped and be emptied like Yahusha did. You see, he emptied himself. He made himself of no reputation, it is written, which means to empty yourself. Do you see? To make yourself as vain. Same thing that Abel's name means. Abel is the grandson of God. Can't you see it? What have I told you? The preacher with the capital P, written about in the Bible in the book of Ecclesiastes. What did I tell you he will tell you when he comes? He will tell you that everything you've done under the sun is vanity. That's his message to give to you. That's what I'm giving you today. That is my message to you. Ooh, ooh. What's that message, grandson? That don't worry about a thing, little flock of laters. Why? Because every little thing is going to be all right. So then what you worry for, little flock of laters? That's my message to you. Ooh, ooh. Don't you worry about a thing. Because all these other vain talkers that don't know they're a vain talker, they're talking a whole lot. Like I told you, the goat do with his tongue sticking out because they think what they got to say is valuable. But as we see, it ain't valuable. It's nothing but vanity, just like those people with their tongue sticking out. Isn't it vanity? Isn't it pointless? All of the talking that this world got to do with their tongue sticking out, those talkers with their tongue sticking out, do they have anything to say of value to you? Have you ever heard them say anything to you of value? Now, anybody who has talked to you and said something to you of value, did they have their tongue all hanging all out and every damn thing? Hell to the no. They had their tongue in their mouth talking to you. They wasn't going, ain't that right, little fly? You don't hear that shit coming up out of here because I ain't no damn goat. That's why. So my words ain't vain. In other words, when I'm talking to y'all, don't my words always hold value? Do they? That's my question to you. Because if they don't, then that means you're here listening to a goat. You're listening to vanity and things wherein there's no profit. What did Abba say gonna happen? You're gonna get shook till you broke off. Don't worry, little flock. You're brave if you're a member of the little flock. They're not brave. I don't care how they try to make the illusion that they are. A goat is not brave. A goat is a coward. A goat is fearful. A goat ain't nothing but a kid. You hear that? That's all he is. That's why Esau Watch what I'm about to prove. Since I mentioned him earlier, watch what I'm going to prove to you here, little flock. When Jacob disguised himself as Esau, what did he put on his body besides Esau's clothes? What else did he put on his body? Watch when you see what he put on there. What did he put on there? He put the skin of a goat, the skin of a kid. Why didn't he put sheep's wool? Why did he put goat skin? You should know now, shouldn't you? Why Jacob disguised himself with a goat skin? Because that's how Esau felt when you touched him. He felt just like a goat when you touch him. Why that animal? Why that one? Because that's the one Yahushua said he was going to take out. I rejected Esau. I rejected a goat. A goat goes, ah! I reject that kind of person. I want a person that's like this. What kind of wife do you want? You want a wife that's going, ah, hell yeah, girl, let's go to the club and get fucked up. She drunk before she get to the club, and then she wonder why she get to the club and then get more drunk, also gets roofied, gets dropped off at some motel somewhere, wakes up in the morning with throw up all over her breast, her full breast, not knowing why in the hell that is the case. That's the kind of wife you want? Or you want that wife that when niggas like, hey girl, she like this. Then here come the temptation. Damn, bitch. You don't hear me fucking talking to you? And then what she do? She do this. She be like, what kind of wife do you want? Shit, I want a girl, man, that love me, hold me down, don't cheat on me, she loyal. And you got the nerve to be calling her a bitch when she's doing the exact things you say you want. Ain't that some shit? See how people can't judge righteous judgment when they see the thing they say they want? They reject the thing they say that they want, and then they mad when they don't get it. You rejected it, nigga. What you thought was gonna happen, nigga? All right, now this shaking doesn't just affect members of the flock. It also affects those who said they were overseers of the flock. See that there? A lot of people that have said that they were overseers of the flock were nothing but vain talkers. They have nothing of value to tell you. Your life wouldn't change in one damn bit. Every time you went to them and they talked to you, it did not change the fact that you remained a hamster on a wheel. Niggas say he helping you, but actually all he doing is giving you reasons to remain on that hamster wheel, suffering it. That's actually all the nigga's actually doing for you. Yeah, man, this is part of the tribulation that Christ said that we'd have to face, you know. It's just life, man, and we got to get along with it. And go on and be patient and be kind and forgive our enemies, and no power in nothing that he's saying. You see that there? There's been a whole lot of vain talkers, profitless speaking, things wherein there's no profit. They're going to be broken off too. They're going to be shooken off. It's happening right now, little flock. Pretty soon, y'all aren't going to have any more preachers you can listen to. Pretty soon here. It's been dwindling down every day. There are less and less and less and less vain talkers for you to listen to. You may have thought they had power in what they said, but it wasn't any power in it. It kept you right where you were. They did not teach you the name of the Father. They did not teach you how you were taking that name in vain, and they could not teach you how to take it in truth because they didn't even teach you the name. They didn't even teach it to you. They may have said it to you, but what good is that? To just say it. There's a veil that's on people's minds when they read Moses. That's where you're going to read the name of God. So if you can't remove the veil that they have, then even if you say it to them, they can't hear you. They can't comprehend or understand. You got to be anointed to set people free. That's what the scriptures say. You got to be anointed to do these things. And that's what proves your anointing. The fact that you can get that hamster off that wheel and prove to him that he ain't no damn hamster. So he ain't got no business being on no damn wheel. And only a true overseer can do that. These other ones, they can't do that. They can't make you free. You see that? They're blind leaders of the blind. They lead you in a ditch. So if they're going in a ditch, then that's where they're going to be shaken off into. You see that there? He already said what's going to happen when he separate the goats. Once they're separated and they're taken out of the flock all together and they're all bundled up, he says they're going into destruction. You see? They're going into a state of being that's not peace and not still. Can it be? If you found out that all you did was murder the flock, that's all you did was murder them, then how do you think you're going to feel when that's revealed to you, when you thought you were saving them? You think you're going to be able to remain calm and peaceful in the face of Abba when that takes place? I don't think so. He says he's going to come like a thief in the night. Doesn't Yaziz also mean to move swiftly? Yeah. So this sifting that he's going to do when he takes those goats out, he's going to do it quickly. And he's doing it quickly. And you can see them right now, all trying to scatter with their tongue out, saying some words that are still vain. Niggas will get up in front of their congregation, so-called confessing their sins and repenting. They get up there, they don't even say what the sin was. Yes, there were some things that you may have heard about me. Wait, I got to get the accent right, like these guys. There were some things that was said about me that you may have heard. And some of those things were true. And I have repented of those things. And I ask that you guys will pray with me that I do not fall into those things anymore. So now that that's out of the way, I've confessed my sin and repented. I've showed that I was a stand-up overseer of you all. Then I'm going to continue to teach, aren't I? And you're going to let me, aren't you? See this bullcrap? That's vain talking. That's not repenting. That's not confession. That's not admitting. That's not humbling. That's prideful. That's arrogant. That's defending yourself. That's opening your big ass pothole. See what I'm trying to say to you, little flockulators? See what I'm trying to say? So now, before I get out of here, didn't he say your enemy seeks to sift you as wheat? When you want to separate two things from each other, don't you sift it? Yep, that's what you do. So do you see it? Your enemy is seeking to do the same thing to you. To sift you. To cause you to be divided and separated. Can't y'all see that today, little flock? That's what you do when you separate. You sift. So it's no different here, little flock. So I hope y'all are aware of what's going on at this time and the things that you see. Don't be surprised by it when you see these so-called prophets falling, these so-called preachers, these so-called Christians, these so-called leaders and evangelists. When you start some falling, you see them falling. And I'm telling you why. Because what I told you was going to happen. The shaking. The shaking. When they get found out for what they are, they get afraid. And they start to shake and move. Shit, that's what they do. And they shake and move right into a grave. Hear that, little flock? So y'all be blessed today, little flockulators. And receive that message. And we're going to see what Abba has in store for us next. Silawam Mr. Allah.